The world of handmade business can be tough when trying to monetize what you love. We've got truth bombs and motivation to help you find your way through. Passion to profit, let's start today, 'cause the world needs what you create. Tune in right now, it's your shot to learn how to be a handmade boss.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the How to Be a Handmade Boss podcast. I am here with Charly, or Charlotte. I'm not sure which one you would.
Yeah, so my real name's Charlotte, but I call myself Charly.
Charly. Okay, awesome. Charly, take it away. What do you do? Plug, or do all the things.
Yay! So I'm Charly from Charly Bee Designs, and I sell all personalised bracelets. I've got loads of them now. They're mainly made from paracord, and the whole point behind them is to be very sentimental. They've got a lot of personalisation to them. Yeah. I'm mainly, I'd say, aimed at men, because men are so hard to buy for. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff for men and families, like dad and daughter. Yeah, like it's very family orientated, and yeah, that's what I do.
Love it. So in terms of because I've actually got your shop up here, right?
Yay.
So in terms of I guess in your mind, the kind of people, family, couples, whatever, that would buy your products, are they the kind of people that are going to go hiking on weekends? Are very outdoorsy?
Yeah, I'd say so, definitely, because the whole use of paracord, I think it definitely attracts that sort of demographic, people who are really outdoorsy. They like to camp, and it's kind of that whole style, and they're so strong as well. Like, people can, you can wear them and you can have them on for probably years. In fact, people do wear them for years, which is really nice to see. Like, I'll bump into someone and they'll be like, yeah, I've been wearing this for 3 years now. And you're like, oh, wow. So they're really sturdy. And yes, you're right. They absolutely attract the outdoorsy types.
I love it. Yeah. I don't know why, but I just had this image in my head when you were saying that of, Looney Tunes, when the coyote falls over a cliff. I'm just imagining him wearing one of your bracelets, and it's like on a branch or something.
Yeah.
Dangling
it's like the Stanley Cups. Have you seen the thing about the Stanley Cups where there's a car that sets on fire? Have you heard of Camp Stanley Cups?
Yeah.
There's a car that sets on fire, and there's the Stanley mug is fine. It's undestroyed.
Oh my God. Well, at least your tea's hot. I mean,
exactly. It's brilliant.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly like that. They are quite indestructible. Mind you, I'm saying this now and I'm like, uh-oh, what if they're not?
Someone somewhere is going to try and run it over with a steamroller or a tractor or something.
Yeah. That'll be just my luck. Yeah.
Love it. So, okay. So tell us a bit more about your journey, the backstory, give us more the run up to where you are now.
Yeah, sure. So, okay, I started Charly Bee Designs, in 2017. It's been a long time, but it's only actually been since I've taken part in your course that it's been a lot more serious, and I've been able to go full time with it. Which is really exciting. Yeah, it's wonderful. So, so I started, and I actually started making beaded bracelets and chokers. And then, for Christmas, I was like, what can I make my boyfriend? What can I? And I thought, let's try and make some men's bracelets. So I got some paracord, and I was like, oh my God, I just never looked back after buying the paracord and making this. I thought, these are amazing. I love them. They're just so strong and really nice to feel and stuff. Just really excited to be making paracord. So the paracord ended up taking over the chokers and the beaded bracelets, because I found with things like that, that's quite a lot of people were doing that at the time, whereas not many people were doing what these bracelets were. So I sort of started putting them up in the shop, and they're the things that gained traction for me. But before I had an Etsy shop, I sold in a boutique, handmade boutique as well, and that was really, really nice experience. But I find online sales are so much better.
Yeah, you don't have to lug around a bunch of stuff.
Oh my God, yeah, it's
Awesome.
definitely.
So is it fair to say then that what made you fall in love with what you sell is the fact that you were like, where's the jewelry for men? Like,
Exactly.
yeah, love
Yeah.
it.
Exactly. And then people started like like the business has been led by other people, if you like, because like I've just had people come to me and go, well, can I have, they'd be like, oh, I like this, can you make it like this, or can you do this color? And it's like taken on its own life from my customers, which is really nice. Yeah, I suppose that's how it works, isn't it? A lot of the time.
Yeah, I love it, and I think that's definitely the difference between, because like sometimes people will say, oh, I started making things that I really loved, and then it took a little bit of time for me to kind of find the balance between what I love and what people want, because there is always that disconnect and that gap between what you like to make, and that's great, and that feeds your creativity and all that good stuff. But then there's like, okay, but not everybody's going to want it in that particular way, shape or form. So I love the fact that you are like, I'm going to be completely led by what people want. And I think that is the key thing that has completely catapulted things for you, really.
Definitely. I'd really recommend that for people. I mean, I loved making bead. I'm very girly naturally, actually. So I loved doing all the chokers and the sparkly things. And I love what I do now. But at the end of the day, yeah, I decided to be led by my customers. And that's what pays off, I think. Definitely.
I love it. Yeah. And what made you decide, like a bit of a side note question, what made you decide to do the paracord? Because I know that a lot of people, like when they think of men's jewelry, they'll like bracelets wise, they'll think of like leather, and they'll think of like titanium, like all those kinds of metals. And yeah, what made you kind of go the paracord route?
So it's actually my boyfriend's cousin made him a paracord bracelet, and it was really nice. And we'd like go out and about, and people would comment on it, and they'd be like, oh wow, that's really amazing. It's because I just think it was so unique, and I looked at it and I thought, God, it is a really lovely bracelet, and I want to do like my own spin on it. I think that's kind of what it was. It got a lot of attention, actually, the paracord. I think men tend to love it. So yeah, that's what's like started it all for me. So I just went and ordered a load of colours and tried out all these different styles, and eventually I came up with my own like style. It took a lot of trial and error, but we got there.
I love it. So it's influenced by your own experience, but also you're kind of being like, I'm going to hold back and see what other people feel about this first. And
yeah, absolutely.
I love it. So when did you kind of find, because I know that you've been in the course for a while now, like your name pops up on the coaching calls, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Like, so when did you, like, whereabouts in your journey, I guess, did you kind of come across me, Handmade Bosses and all that other good stuff, I suppose?
Yeah, so it was in, I remember it well. It was in the January time, 2022. There was a Facebook ad, and it was for I think the conversion course, maybe the conversion rate course, and I played it, and it just felt like it was speaking to me. I was like, I need this. And like my fella was like, Charlie, you need to buy this, you need to get this course, because everything she's saying is everything you're telling me you're worrying about all the time. I was like, yeah. So yeah. I joined one of your like Flourish events. That was in May or June, like that year. So I binged watched all the videos, and then I joined the Flourish event in June, and I was even on holiday, and I was like, I want to watch the Flourish event. Anyway, yeah, a bit sad while I was on holiday, but I was just so into it, and then I was just like, that's it, I'm joining. And I joined, and I'm only still to this day halfway through the course, but the value that it's already bought, like, I can't imagine what the other half's going to do. So yeah,
I love it. Are you in phase 3 then?
Yeah, like something like that. Like I think I'm just at email. So I've done like the email list and all the automations, and like it's all set up. But I think it's just like sending the weekly emails. I've got to get really to get into. I think I'm
Love
sort of there.
That's amazing. That is great. So 2022, it seems like ages ago, but it's not, is it? It's in like two years ago.
It is, yeah.
That's crazy. And the conversion class we actually still run to this day. Like I've redone it several times, but the meat and bones of it is still the exact same. So that's really cool.
Oh, brilliant. No, it just shows you're good at what you do. You like honestly, I was just like, yes, I need this.
Oh, I love it. It's only because I've been exactly where everybody listening / watching to this, I've been where you guys are, and it's like, it's frustrating to say the least when you're putting like 60 hours a week into something and it's just not doing anything, and you're like, well, why am I doing this if I'm not getting results? Like, what is the point?
Absolutely. That was me for years. Like I'd work till like 9 o'clock at night, and I'd be like, I've got to do this, and there's just everything. And now I don't, like, I work full time, but actually I probably work like 6 hours a day, and I've got things under control. Whereas before it was just like, it's kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of like stabbing in the dark, really. I think what I was doing, just what do I do?
What do I do? Somebody help me! Like shouting into the void, and nothing's happening.
I think it's really important to get help. I think if you're trying to go it alone and start a business, I think you need guidance. Unless you're from like a family that have been doing it forever, I don't know. But I really needed guidance.
Hey bosses, I am interrupting your episode because if you struggle with social media, I have something free for you to attend that's going to help you. So between the 13th to the 17th of January 2024, I am hosting a marketing critique week. So Monday to Friday, every single day at 1 p.m. UK time, I'm going to be going live to critique some of your marketing channels. Okay. So I've popped the link for that, and it is a Google form. You simply fill that out, and I will go live on Instagram and in the Facebook group and possibly critique your marketing platforms, your channels, whatever. Okay. Now, not only that, we are also going to be celebrating the opening of our Handmade Bosses social media sidekick, or SMS for short. Now, this is going to be a membership that gives you your social media specifically for handmade business owners done for you each and every month. It's super, super easy to use. It's a very calm and serene way to do social media that is effective, but also doesn't leave you questioning everything. It is scroll stopping content. It's applicable month to month. It is totally beginner friendly. And as a matter of fact, we actually do have a beginner guide to social media within there. And it's also going to enable you to get consistent, post on the regular, nurture your customers, and build your social media following. So if that sounds good, and it's literally less than a fancy Starbucks hot chocolate every single week, to join the waitlist for SMS, all you need to do is go to handmadebosses.com/SMS waitlist, all one word, handmadebosses.com/SMS waitlist. The link for that will be in the show notes below. Now, also join us for the Marketing Critique Week coming up as well. Don't forget, 13th to the 17th of January, be there or be square, boss.
Yeah, I think it's good because it does. Because even now, when I'm like doing things or learning things, like for example, doing the podcast, I didn't really know. I mean, I knew that I had to show up and talk and create good stuff, but the back end of it, I didn't know. And even then I was like, should I just try and figure it out and just like look on YouTube and blogs? And I started down that road. And then I was like, this is literally wasting hours of my time where I could just go and find someone who's done it, who's done it well, who's done it multiple times, who has a pattern, a roadmap, and just go and ask them, you know what I mean? And I did that, and the podcast was up and done in like 4 or 5 hours, and I was like, oh wow, this would have taken me 4 or 5 months to do this
easily. I totally get it. I totally get that, because that's exactly what I did. Like when I found you, actually, I think I just sort of went, okay, let's just stop listening to everything else. You've already done it. Let's just focus on that. And it does help, because otherwise you there's just too much noise, isn't there? There's too many of them. Someone saying this and someone saying that, and you're thinking, I don't know what's the right answer. And it's just best to just keep like tunnel vision about it, really, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Completely agree with that.
Yeah.
You got to put your blinders on, because there's so many people like wanting your attention and wanting you to watch their videos because they get AdSense and they get ad revenue, and wanting you to listen to their podcast because they have ads and this and this and this, and you end up being like, I don't know who to trust anymore. What's my name? What month is it? What year is it? I have no idea what.
Totally. And especially when it's all conflicting, like one person says do this and another person this, and you're thinking, oh forget it.
Yeah, they're all just like shouting over each other all the time, and I'm not there for it.
Yeah,
totally. I'm like, no, I'm good, thank you. Okay, so what impact would you say the HBSA has had on your business?
I think it's had quite a huge one, actually. I'd say it's been so helpful. The biggest thing for me is that it's given me structure, because I can be quite scatterbrained. And before I joined HBSA, I was is that a bank? I was selling I was selling, like, so I was doing my bracelets, but then like my friends would be like, oh, can you make me some wine glass charms, please, for a hen do? And can you do me some personalised wedding converse? And I'd be going, yeah, to everything. Oh, can you design me some personalised gift bags? And I'm going, yeah. And I was doing all this stuff before I joined HBSA, and then like one of the first like lessons, like a lot of the lessons is kind of like you kind of got to niche down. And so I was like, yeah, this is I knew to stop doing everything everyone was asking for me, because like while I love my friends, they'd be buying, like they'd spend like, I don't know, like they'd buy one item, whereas I was making loads of sales on my paracord bracelet. So I was just totally scattered. So it's really like given me like a vision and got a structure now that I didn't have before.
Yeah. Because I get this question a lot, and it's normally through like, I know, like a podcast or a Monday Live or something like that, and without fail, every single week someone will say, okay, Steph, I heard what you said about niching, and I heard what you said about having lots of different things in my shop and being just like a general gift shop, because I think they are the shops that struggle the most, because I mean, there's lots of different things that you have, and you kind of end up being like, oh, I bought this from that shop on Etsy, rather than them going to their friends and saying, I bought this from Charly Bee Designs. Like there's a big difference there. And that is really like just one of the small powers of being able to niche down. So what advice would you give for someone who's in that position right now, where they might sell jewelry, they might sell wine glass markers, they might sell napkin rings, they might sell mugs, and they're like, well, I mostly sell like jewelry, but I also do make a few sales of this, and this. Should I have 2, 3, 4 different shops? Like, what advice would you give, having been through that?
Yeah, I'd say it's really exhausting to keep that up, because you've got to keep stock levels of everything, and you've got to split your attention so much. And I've found since I've like completely niched down, only selling bracelets, I can put so much more love into it, and I can attract the right people and not confuse them. I'd say it's totally worth it to niche down. Totally.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. And there's nothing stopping you from kind of having that on the back burner. It's not never, it's a not right now. And it doesn't mean you have to like stop making mugs. If you really love making mugs, then make your mugs, like do it in a different way. But I think and also any advice, because I also get asked like, okay, but how do I pick my niche out of jewelry, mugs, napkin rings, whatever? And it's like, what do you love making? What can you be most creative in? And let's be real, what makes the most profit? Because we're business owners, we're not expensive hobbyists, you know? So
absolutely, that's so true, isn't it? Like you have got to follow what's the most popular in my opinion. I like, you've got to, because that's what people want, and that's the biggest like value you can give to people, is giving them what they actually want. So that's it's so much more rewarding to just go with the most popular thing because you know people want it, and it's not, you want people to go, yay, I bought that, it's you want it to be popular.
Yeah,
I think that's totally what I went for. And I love making, and that's like definitely I love all the colors. I love, like, I've got so much stock of cord, and I just, it's really exciting when I get these orders through, and I like to see what the occasions are for. Like, people like put little notes to me saying what it's for. I love it. Yeah,
I love it. That's really, really cool. And I guess as well, like when they're putting little notes in, it really helps you to kind of understand what to make next, because you're like, oh, okay, if someone's buying this for their dad's 60th birthday gift, then you're like, maybe I should make a bracelet specifically for that thing. And it starts to snowball.
It does. That's like the fun. That's what I find like the most fun of it, actually. Like, the most fun about it is like that. Yeah, I get all the occasions. So I've got like hundreds of bracelets on there now, because I just keep, like you just said, I keep doing that. I'm going, ooh, what can I do that? What can I make next? What 8th wedding anniversary? 2nd wedding? That's exactly what I do. I just sort of, every time I just narrow it down, and it ends up with a really big range, which is really cool.
Yeah,
really, really cool.
Yeah, and I love as well that you have stood out in an otherwise saturated niche. People hear like jewelry and they go, oh yeah, but I sell jewelry, I'm not really getting anywhere with it. And you've kind of gone, I'm going to sell jewelry, but I'm going to carve out a very specific little tiny piece of it that still has hundreds of thousands of like customers in there, but it then makes this massive sea into a little tiny pond that you can continuously dip into. Yeah, definitely.
I get a lot of repeat customers as well, so I think it's kind of like that's that you get your niche, and then those people are the people that want to keep buying. Because it's their style, isn't it? And then that's really lovely to see. I get sort of people who are going, oh, thanks as always, and I'm like, oh, as always, yeah, that's really nice.
That is fab, because it costs so much less of time, effort, energy, money to sell to someone who is an existing customer who already loves you and what you do, versus keep continuously on the flywheel of getting more views, more social media, more this, more that. Yeah, I think if anyone's listening right now and they're like, I need to figure out how I can make more sales, it's like, don't keep looking outside of what you already have, because you might be able to email, I don't know, 10 people on your email list, or 50 people, or 100 people, and be like, hey, here's a special discount code, or here's this new thing that I've got. And you might be getting 5, 6, 20 orders just from that little group, because they know and love you already. And that's definitely what's kind of going on with you, I think. And with your email list as well, that's only going to get better.
Yay! I've got 139 people so far.
That's good. That's really good, though.
It's all right. You know what? It's growing, because I only started like the automation like last year, and putting all the drive in it. So that's not bad. And I need to do a little bit more, I think, marketing wise. I think I need to put myself out there just a little bit more, and then it should get better and better.
That's awesome. No, that is really, really good. And I think that, if you're making plans to push that more, that puddle is going to get to a pond, and that's going to get to a lake. Then sooner or later, you're going to be like, I don't actually need to do any outside marketing anymore, because everybody is here buying stuff from me because their other halves love it, or their brothers love it, or their granddaughters love it. You know what I mean? Yeah. There's so many possibilities with that. And I also like how you're leaning into the gifting side of things as well, because not enough people think about that, and it's a massive deal, especially on Etsy now. Gifting is like the thing. Yeah, definitely. I think that's part of like what's really helped me in the course as well, that sort of thinking about each gifting occasion and focusing each listing to the occasion. And that really helps like clarify to people. It helps people see what they're searching. It gives them more clarity, I think, for them to go, oh, that's what I was looking for. So yeah, that's really helped streamline it. Amazing. Yeah. So what impact has your business and I guess the course kind of had on your life?
Yeah, so it's got like So I mean, it's amazing because I'm now full time, which is really cool. Like I would say when I first went for full time, I was quite scared because I changed a lot of stuff and rebranded, and I was like, oh. And I think I didn't realise, but when you rebrand, there can be like a little bit of a dip, a bit of a business dip because so much is changing, but it's got so much better now. It's doing so much better than it's ever done. So, yeah, I'd say it's things are going. So what impact has it had on my life? It's enabled me to stop my working in my part-time job, which is wonderful because I got weekends. Whereas before I worked in a shop, and you don't get weekends working in a shop. You don't get free weekends.
No, yeah. Having worked in retail basically my whole life, it's like, yeah. You don't get time to yourself.
No, it's so nice having weekends off. Brilliant.
That is great. Yeah, you live, eat and breathe it, don't you? And if you're like, I saw this meme the other day actually, and it was like working in retail versus working in an office. And it's like, if you work in an office and you're 5 minutes late, they're like, oh, that's okay, let's not make a habit of it. But yeah, whereas if you're 5 minutes late to retail, it's like the door's open 5 minutes ago, why are you not here yet?
Oh my god, yeah, exactly that. Yeah, it's really like hard work retail. Oh
gosh. I bet you're glad that you're out of it now.
1,000%. Yeah, 1,000%. What I do now is so much better because it's really rewarding. It's what I'm doing myself. Like I've built it from the ground up, and I'm doing what I want to do. And it's so nice working for yourself. It's hard, but it's so worth it. Like so worth it.
Yeah, because what you're building for yourself. You're not building it for others. And yeah, you do have that moment, don't you, where you are like, at the end of the day, I'm really tired, and I'm exhausted. But then you're like, but this is different because everything I've done today, I've done for myself and not for someone else.
Definitely, that's the difference, isn't it? You can't and it's just so nice to do to be able to arrange your own schedule, and there's nobody there like, oh no, this needs to be done this way. Well, you can do things how you want to, and it's just priceless, really, in my opinion. I just love it. I love working for myself.
I do too.
Yeah, it's good. I wouldn't have it any other way.
No. You will never go back.
No.
You'll fight and fight and fight, never to go back again, because it's And again, if anyone's listening, watching to this right now, and they're like, I'm just in that zone where I'm working, retail, I'm working office, whatever, school, what have you, and I just don't know how I'm going to be able to run this and do Etsy shop and do my usual chores and all that kind of stuff. And I suppose like this is the hardest it's ever going to be, because you're juggling 17,000 things at once. And if you can grow it and run it, or even you don't have to always be growing, like even just keeping it going as it is right now is an achievement.
Yeah.
So don't ever think you have to continuously be growing it, and if you don't, you suck. because you can just carry on as you are, and just know that this is the hardest it's ever going to be, because once you've gotten to where you want to go, you've gone down to part-time, you've given up your job, whatever, it can only get easier.
Definitely. That's definitely what I've found, 100%, because you just got more time to put your focus just into one thing, which has helped me out so much, honestly, so much.
Yeah. How did you find the transition going from working for someone versus working completely for yourself? Was there that kind of pang of, oh no?
Yeah. I thought I'd be really excited, but at first I was like, oh, what have I done? Oh no, I've got to find out a way to make all my money on just this business now. And at first there was a lot of pressure there, and so I left my job in October 2022, and the December was a really terrible Christmas, and I've never had a terrible Christmas for orders, and I was like, oh, what have I done? So yeah, it was really panicky, for about 4 months, and then after that, things just got better and better and better, and then the Christmas I've just had has been just wonderful. such a good Christmas, the best Christmas I've had actually. So
it's good.
So,
Big
yeah,
thumbs up for you. That's grand.
yeah. So, but it was it was panicky at first. I think that's natural though, possibly, like, unless you're really, I don't know, unless you're really doing amazingly, growing. I think it's natural to be a little bit panicked when you first leave your job.
Agreed. Yeah, no, it's completely normal. And also if you're going against the grain as well as to what everybody in your circle is kind of doing, and you get these kind of, at the very least you're getting looks like, are you sure that's what you want to do? At the worst you're getting horrific comments from family and friends, and you're like, oh no.
I still get it now. Like, people go, so if you still got your business, and I go, yeah, and they're like, does it actually make money then? Yes. Yes, it does.
Oh, I had that the other day, not too long ago. My mother-in-law was like, it might, to be fair, it must have been about a year or so ago, but I gave her a copy of my book, and I was like, maybe this might explain a little bit more about what I do, and and she was like, oh yeah. And then a year later, she was like, so what do you actually do then? And I was like, I mean, you've got it in your house in a book form, but I'll explain again. And then she did the exact same thing. She's like, do you actually make money out of that then? And I was like, well, yeah, and it's really, really funny. But I just tell people now that I write books, because I'm like, I can't be bothered to like explain.
Sometimes it's easier, isn't it? Like, sometimes it's easier than explaining, like, what, like, cause people, I think, because it's such a new world, I think, doing like this sort of work, like creative work online, I don't think a lot of people understand it yet.
Agreed. I think I think some people are like, I don't really, and I know. I mean, to be fair, when I first started doing this, I didn't even know that the realms of possibility included such things. But it's crazy. I mean, my other half, he's just got a new job where he's working from home like 3-4 days a week, and he's like, what is this? Like, I can't get used to this, and it's just bizarre, but it's great. It's really good.
Definitely. I love working from home as well. That's another thing. People are like, so you like working from home? I'm like, I love it. Absolutely love it. It's wonderful.
Yes, agreed. You can go to the toilet whenever you want. You can have coffee and tea and snacks whenever you like.
So good. I love peace and quiet when I'm working. I mean, I'm really sociable as well, but it just means I've got more energy to socialize on the weekends. So, like, in the week when I'm working, it's just so nice and peaceful just to be able to focus on what I'm doing.
Agreed. Love it. That's awesome. Okay, so going back to the HBSA then, you touched on the biggest takeaway being like the structure. Would that be the biggest thing that you said that you've gotten from it?
Definitely. And I think to add on to that, the data sheet, I think in phase 3, that has just been, I can't live without that now. That is my thing. Like, that's what I do. If I've gone away, like last week I went on holiday to Scotland and I didn't do the data sheet, and I was like, no, I need to go and do it. And honestly, it's just been an absolute game changer.
I love that. Not enough people say the data sheet is a good. I think people kind of like avoid it a little bit.
Yeah,
they're like,
I can see why.
Yeah,
sometimes you can look at it and go, oh gosh, that hasn't done very well, or this like is a lot of it takes a lot to look at it all. But yeah, it's brilliant. It's really helped. Yeah,
brilliant. A fun question: how different is your business now versus a year ago?
Oh, do you know what? I've been really brave and I've put the prices up, so that's one. Like so that's really nice, and people like I'm probably getting more sales, which is lovely. And also I've got access to an engraver now. Which has really helped, because now people go, oh, can I have an emoji on this? And I'm like, yeah, you can. So that's really fun. I love that. Like, yeah, it's really fun to have like the engraver. Like it's just so unlimited now.
It is, yeah, because you can literally do, yeah, you can literally create it a million and one different ways, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh,
Do
fab.
little drawings or anything. Like, it's just opened up so much.
Oh, that's amazing. That is awesome.
Yeah.
And okay, how different do you see your business being a year from now?
I think I want to get more into marketing. I think I need to focus a lot more on social media and emailing. And I think that I want to be able to create. So I've got a really nice niche and I've got a lot of repeat customers, but I want to lean more into that and do more of that, create more of like you said before, like a home hub, and try and build more of a community. I think that would be amazing. Definitely.
Yeah. And based on your repeat customers and people coming back, for more stuff from you, I think that would be really, really good as well, because once you've built that, you almost don't have to worry about posting stuff every single day to get new people in. Like I said, you can just dip into that pool that you have, and I think that is invaluable.
Definitely. I think that's the way forward. Definitely the way forward for me.
Yeah.
So,
for sure. Okay. What is one piece of advice that you would give to yourself a year ago?
I would say don't stress so much, actually. the less you stress, like the less worried like you are, the more like mental space you have. And I think I'm a lot more relaxed than I was a year ago. I'd say just relax. Obviously work hard, but you don't need to add all the worry into everything you're doing, worrying whether it's going to turn out, because it will. Or if it doesn't, you can find another way. There's always another way of doing things. So yeah, I'd say it's the worry thing. Don't worry.
Yeah, there's a lot of truth to that, for sure. Yeah. I think when you're worrying about, I can't remember what the saying goes. I think it's something along the lines of, if you're worrying about something that hasn't happened yet, you're worrying about it 2,000 times before you actually need to worry about it.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh yeah, I suppose that is true.
Yeah. And all that time that you spend on that could be done just making another bracelet and filming it, photographing it, doing something fun, and then making more money, or doing. That's like, yeah. I've had to learn to chill out a lot more.
Okay, my last question before I'm going to ask you to plug is what crazy but true fact is there about you?
This is really weird, but I actually really like spiders. I think they're really cute.
I don't disagree with you, if I'm honest.
They're quite cute, aren't they? Little, I don't know, they're just really sweet to me. I name them. I'll happily hold them in my hand, and I don't want them to leave my house. I'm quite happy.
Oh, that's great. I do that with like wood louses.
Yeah.
I love them. I'm like, oh, hello, Frank. How are you?
Yeah, they're cute little things, aren't they? Actually, with the little cartoons.
Oh, I love that. Okay, so you are not scared of spiders at all, and that is grand. That's a very useful life skill to have,
isn't it? Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Okay, I want you, right before we wrap up, to plug. I want you to tell everyone where they can find you, your shops, your links, your social media. Go for it.
Lovely. So I'm on Etsy. So Etsy, it's Charly Bee Designs, CHARLY BEE Designs, and then it's the same handle for Instagram as well. And I'm also on Pinterest. I think everything has. I mean, I'm on Facebook, but I'm mainly on Instagram and Pinterest. So yeah, that's where I can be found.
That's amazing. We will also link it in the show notes as well, because I do have your shop here. But yeah, thank you so much. Like, you are such like a sunflower.
Oh,
you're so like bright, and it's like, oh yes, what a way to brighten up a dreary Friday morning. Love
I've
it.
got a lot of energy.
Yeah, that's it. Hey, that is a good thing to have, because sometimes I'm at like my battery is like 11%. It's the beginning of the day.
There you go. I've helped brighten you up.
Yes, you have. I'm like, oh, this is
Oh,
lovely.
but you're bubbly as well. You're always really bubbly on these podcasts and videos.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, sometimes I do like get off of them and I'm like, I need a nap.
Yeah. I can understand that.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, no, always. Go and check out all the links and all the social media and the Pinterest and all that good stuff. But for now, everyone, thank you for listening / watching wherever you're consuming this, and we will see you next week. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you so much for tuning in to How to Be a Handmade Boss. And if you're eager to boost your Etsy sales within just 7 days, then be sure to join my most popular free training at handmadebosses.com/conversion. You can also find the link in the show notes as well. Keep an eye out for our next episode, where we'll be continuing our journey towards handmade business success together. And until then, keep crafting and stay inspired, because the world really does need those special creations that only you can make.